Today's the day. Today, it's the day that it's finally over. So, I'm beginning with this video. I've been noticed about with this year is a total disaster that I'm having. So, you might know about something how this year is completely a total mess around with this entire disaster for this year. I'm talking about is the year I know is actually the one thing I noticed about it. And here's something I have to show you this. So, here's this. When the night gets closer, I'll be dreaming of your love and every time. Yep. Yep, you guys. Yep. Today's the day. It's that 2020. It's gotta be over with. Yep, 2020 is officially gonna end right now. So I'm literally have some problems. Like I already know. Today's the day. It's that 2020 is officially gonna get done for today. Cause now this is a new start. I'm finally glad it's gonna be over with right now. Cause now you see the fireworks today. It's time for a celebration. It's that 2021 is gonna be coming. Yep, 2021 it's gonna be coming. So this is just a very usual year. It's a disappointment that I'm having some bad thoughts around this year. There was some very usual problems that doesn't look like it's not going too well, actually. You might know about what's happening for 2020. So, here's my thoughts. 2020 is literally my most fucking nightmare. Yes, that's what I just said. My most fucking nightmare. I was getting tired of having bad years my whole life. You might only understand. This is my first time that I have to cuss. Because you might know, this video will be age restricted. Because I know, I don't care about how YouTube want to say that it's not family friendly. But look, I was getting tired with these bad years I'm having this problem. Like, I already know how 2020 is acting a disaster. Like, I thought it would be a great year. And now it's not. And I kind of know, this is my most fucking... It's kind of my most fucking nightmare that this is not the thing I'm not interested into it. Because 2020 is a disaster and it's a total mess. It's just not going too well. Because you might know about my thoughts on 2020. So, this is going to get fucked up. So, if you're ready to know what's going to happen for it, here's my thoughts for 2020. Because it doesn't look like it's going too well. Because I know it's just getting too terrible. Like, it goes to my life, and it's just not only no. Because here's something what's going on for this whole entire disaster. So, here's this. The first thing that my thoughts on 2020, that it was a total disaster, is the very usual pandemic. The commonly known as the coronavirus pandemic, which is COVID-19 pandemic, or COVID pandemic, actually known as the pandemic. You might know about what I'm going to have to talk about this year. It's the pandemic. The one thing I can't really handle with 2020 is that you might know what's something that I have some bad thoughts with 2020. So, here's this. it's the pandemic. Back when I know what's going on for 2019, this is something where I know what's happening is that there were some problems with Duvir to the entire world. So back in 2019, there is something I know, which is the where the pandemic came from. Well, it came from China, because I wasn't trying to be rude to the country China. Like, I'm not trying to be getting too offended to China, but you know why I had to say it to China. I wasn't trying to be too offended. I had to talk about how China kind of caused the problem. I'm not trying to be too offended. You might know how did they cause this pandemic about this problem. Because I'm not trying to be rude. It's just they caused the pandemic because they were eating affected animals. Because you might see that there are some videos it shows that I heard China keep eating something that feel like it's affected. Because you might know what I'm going to talk about. While from China, I heard that they were eating infected animals. The one thing they eat infected animals, it's actually the cows and the bats. Yeah, I'm not trying to be too offended to China. It's because China kind of caused the pandemic. Because I'm not trying to be like too offended. It's because this pandemic is an entire disaster. Like, you see how China want to cause the problem with it. I'm not offended to China. I'm just trying to know that the pandemic it causes by China. Because I know this is kind of China's fault what they did, that they caused the pandemic. Because I see how this is a total disaster, that where that pandemic come from. And that would be from the bats and the cows, of course. Like the cow gut and even the bats that are eating it. That kind of caused the virus to get affected around these people. Because I heard a lot of people, like I heard like several people die of this pandemic. Because I already know how the history starts through the pandemic. Because I see on 1910, I know there was another pandemic, of course, that I never heard of it. Because I heard it's the Spanish flu. And I didn't know that I didn't know they have like from the history from the pandemic. Like, I'm not trying to offend it. It's because it's kind of the pandemic what it caused, because it causes like from other countries around. Like, if this is something what it caused, like I already know. Like, I know it's something because I wasn't born on 1910. Because I know the Spanish flu goes through it. Because I already talked to someone that there was something that is called the Spanish flu on 1910. I know what it caused through it, but I wasn't born in 1910. I know, but kind of me what I know, like for China, I know how they know with the pandemic what it caused. Like, the problem I know is that when the pandemic goes spread around the world, it's like a nightmare for this pandemic, because I know how this is really China's fault what they did, but I'm not trying to offend it. Like, I know, like, if they eat something, like, I know they literally caused the pandemic. I know they give an apology for it. Well, we kind of give a trust to China, of course, that we only say apology accepted to it. Because I know how that's their fault. I know how they are causing it. But I'm just hoping it'll never do it again they're never going to do it again by eating something that seems like it's affected. But I'm pretty sure this pandemic, it's like a total disaster. Because we're all in quarantine. We're all in quarantine because since this is just not going too well. Because I have problems with this pandemic. Like, the problem I'm having is the face mask. Yeah, but I wasn't acting like a Karen. I know, like, I not want to act like a Karen, of course, but the face masks were actually uncomfortable to wear these. But I know it kind of protected us, like, blocking the pandemic. I know how it's kind of happened to it, because it feels like I'm kind of glad when I'm wearing the mask for it, because, you know, I go several places, like, I only go to Walmart when I'm wearing the face mask, or going to the store when I'm wearing the face mask, or going to school that I was wearing the face mask. Yeah, I already know, like, it is kind of amazing when I'm only wearing the face mask, but at least it's only going through well, because At least it's happened to us, because we're pretty sure we're not taking these off, because you know how it's going to spread the pandemic when it caused. It's just wanting to make it even worse. Because it's very uncomfortable to my ears with these handles, and uncomfortable to my nose, because my nose keep popping out to this mask, because it looks like it's going to come off through it. But even like that, it's just something how it was a problem. But it's just something how I'm not liking about how this pandemic it's going to get worse. Like, I heard it's probably even worse, because since I was back at the building in school, but since it's even worse, we're all going to be in quarantine again to be online. But it's just somehow if this is a problem, because it's just a disaster while we're living like that. It's living like hell, because it's been like fucking hell like that. I'm not liking with this year. I don't like the pandemic, because I don't like how China wanted to feel like if they wanted to affect these animals, that they wanted to affect other people when they caught the pandemic. But I just don't know how, if this is going to get worse with it, but I kind of do love China that much, but I don't like how they want to affect these animals that they looking like that they might cause another pandemic. But it's just something how, it's a total disaster. But I know how China is a good country around there, but the one thing I don't like how they're doing it's like they're eating factus animals. It made me feel gross out. Like there was this one video that shows that they were eating cow poop. And this is like the disgusting thing that I'm watching it. I'm feeling sick while I'm watching it. Because I'm not like want to see that type of video, because it's feeling grossed out and disgusting when I just watch, and that's why it caused it. And they're eating bats, because everything they eat in it, it's like it's gonna affect it. I know how they want to do it, but I'm not mad. It's just I just don't want them to eat while affect these animals, because that's why it caused the pandemic where it goes through. Because it's just not how I'm not want to see. It's like a disaster why I'm seeing it. But even like that, I know how China has been good with that for the country. But I just don't like how they're eating infectious animals when I'm seeing it. It's made me feel uncomfortable if I'm not ready to eat it. I'm not like, if I visit China, like if they're like eating infectious like animals they're eating, it made me feel uncomfortable that I'm not eating it. But it is a good country actually. It is good. But whatever they caused it, the pandemic, it's just like it's spreading even worse. Like there's something how I'm knowing what's going through the pandemic that it's just acting crazy. Because I know there were some problems, of course, that even what's going on, that the whole pandemic it's happening, that it didn't go too well. Like I heard some other stores, like there was other business companies that were getting shut down. Like I know there's stores, and I know there's movie theaters. They were getting shut down for once. And one thing it got me shocked, it's that AMC theaters is actually getting bankruptcy, that it's gonna get shut down. Cause nobody never go to movie theaters no more, because the movies were actually gonna be released in streaming service on demand. Like I heard that there was this one film which is that was from Universal Studios, is DreamWorks Trolls World Tour. Because I heard Trolls World Tour has been released on streaming. Because this is just something how DreamWorks Animation has been like that since they finished it. Because I heard they first announced that they were announced a sequel to Trolls on 2017. Because since this is where I know it was originally titled Trolls 2, but then they changed it to Trolls World Tour in 2018. But now it's a total disaster since Universal is going to get banned by AMC. Because whatever went there, it's a total disaster of one of their movies, that this is a total disaster that what I'm seeing it, that the pandemic it causing it. But even though, thanks to China, I cannot believe how the pandemic caught me causing it. But I'm not too offended to China. It's a good country, but I just don't like how they're eating, well, and killing animals. Because it feels like I'm uncomfortable by eating some different foods for it. And I'm not liking how if I'm seeing one type of food that I've never seen before, I'm not gonna eat it. It's just something I'm feeling uncomfortable to eat it. But it is a good country, but it's just not going too well with this pandemic, and that's why it's causing it. And that's why I'm not sure the pandemic causing it. And I already know, I see people were quitting YouTube, and you're pretty sure how I almost quitting YouTube for it, because the pandemic is causing it. Because the reason why you might know that, the reason why I wasn't here on YouTube, because the pandemic. Because the coronavirus, it's just where I wasn't here on YouTube because of the coronavirus. It's just where I know. When that was when I know the pandemic, it's here at the United States, Ohio. It's just not only going through for it. Sorry, that was my mother knocking on the door. Anyways, it's just something how I know that the pandemic, like I know the pandemic. Hold on. Okay, sorry. Anyways, it's just something how I know the pandemic. It's just that causing it. Because I cannot believe how it's going to get worse. Because 2020, it's like, it's a good year for saying the devil. Because I know what I'm knowing, of course. Because 2020, it feels like that, it kind of feels like that, saying has a new, it feels like that 2020, it's actually saying soulmate. I mean, because I know there was a commercial that shows that saying met 2020. Because it looks like that 2020 is actually a soulmate to saying. Because it's just seemed like it's not a good year. It's just a disaster. I hate 2020. I hate 2017. I hate 2018. And even of course, I hate 2019. Those are my terrible years. Because I know I haven't bad years in my whole life. But I know, I keep making YouTube videos because they're all good videos. I know all my videos are good for these years. I know all my videos are good videos that I did for good years for 2017, 18, and 19. And for 2020, it's just a disaster like that for that because the pandemic. Thanks to China, I cannot believe how they do like that. But to me, I'm not getting too offended to China. It's just that commie thinks that they caused the pandemic, that it's a total disaster for it. I'm not too offended to China. I love the country, but I just don't want to see if there was like another pandemic that's gonna get started with it. If they're eating another animal, that seems like it's gonna affect it, because it is a disaster for it. And I'm pretty hope that I hope they're not gonna eat affected animals ever again for it, and I kind of think it might cause a pandemic, and that's why it's a terrible year for the pandemic. And apologies to the people from China. Sorry why I already said that to you. Of course, if you're watching this video, I'm kindly apologize why I said stuff to you, because I just trying to warn you that please don't eat some different kind of food that's from an affected animal, because that's how you want to cause the pandemic that's going around the world. Like, you want to cause the world, of course, that you're causing the pandemic, that you want to make the world, that it's going to get affected to the entire world for this year. Just please don't eat affected animals. I don't want to see if there's another pandemic it started with it, because it's going to get worse like that around the world. But I kindly apologize why I said it, but I wasn't trying to get too offended. I just don't want to see that you're going to start doing another pandemic by eating like affected animals, because I just see one video, it shows they were eating like cow poop, or I know there was like you're eating a bat, because I'm not want to see if there's another pandemic. Like, I wasn't trying to be as a Karen. I'm not a Karen. I'm not offended. I'm not getting too offended. I like China. I already like you guys, of course, from China, because China is a good country. I already do enjoy China, but by eating like different foods that's coming from an animal that's getting affected, I don't want to see if there was like another pandemic, because I'm getting too afraid if I might be gonna get killed by a pandemic for it, if I might be gonna get affected if I'm feeling sick, because I don't want to see if there was another pandemic story, because I know I already wearing face mask, I already social distancing, I'm already listening to the government. I already listen to the government when I'm wearing a face mask and being social distancing. That's kind of a good thing for it. So, apologies why I'm always saying stuff, for, of course, from the people from China. But please, I don't want to. But please don't eat. But please don't eat like affected animals ever again, because I don't want to see if there's another pandemic. It's starting. I don't want to see another COVID-19 pandemic, because I'm hoping 2021 will be a great year for it. Alright, now here's another thing that's similar to the pandemic. One thing that I have to show you guys is that this is something I know that the pandemic is still there. But I know like a lot of people hate it for it. And I know there's like several people hate the pandemic. And I know like people only listen to the government if you're wearing your face mask. Like this face mask. What kind are you wearing it? I'm wearing my face mask. That's why I'm wearing it for, because since I'm going to other places, if I have to be social distancing. That's the other thing. You're pretty sure if you listen to the government, that's kind of the good thing, how you have to understand that you have to wear a face mask if you have to be social distancing. And that's it. That's the other thing you have to do for it. That's something how you only want the thing for it. And speaking of which, with this pandemic, pandemic, you're pretty sure some of these people listen to the government when they're wearing a face mask if you have to be social distancing away from it, like 7 feet away from the people. And that's kind of a good thing. But unfortunately, some of the people don't listen to the government, and they don't want to wear their face mask, and they don't want to be social distancing. They want to be woo, like coughing people, sneezing people, and even of course, you kind of want to be racist to other people for a race, like people from China, people from Mexico, people who are kind of Somalian, and even of course, some of the people who kind of want to be racist to black people, which is eventually, I am black. Because I already am a black guy on YouTube. Because you might be what I'm trying to talk about. It's something you might know. One thing I have to talk about, it's actually is the truthful white people. But which is known as Karens and Kevins. Yep. And you're pretty sure Karens were literally some truthful wounded white people that they kind of treated us to a race. Yeah, some Karens were kind of don't listen. Like, you might know what's going on what I have to see. I see some of these videos that shows that these Karens are just... I see some of these videos that people were filming them that I see like some of these people were kind of filming people... Hold on. Let me just get my thought. Okay. These Karens are just wanting to be too truthful to us that they don't listen. Like, they don't listen to the government. Like, I know how they're being truthful. Like, they're not wearing their face mask and they're not social distancing. They kind of coughing at people. And that's what they're doing. And one video, I know that it's kind of too truthful to black people that we're kind of known to our race that our race we're knowing that people are protesting that one day on the sign it says Black Lives Matter. Cause that's why I am black. We kind of do matter because we all lives matter. Cause this is something I had to talk about this. Like, here's something I had to show you this. I drew these two pictures right there, and they are very perfect what I did. Like, it's only for the COVID, because I know this is something you might only see. Like, you can see the emoji wearing a face mask. You can only see the COVID right over here that I drew, and that's what it says. And I drew the black version of it, because I'm literally am black. And that's why I'm knowing how I'm only being like that, because this is where we know. Because it says stay away COVID. That's where we only know. You already know I'm a good artist what I drew. You can see my signature. Hold on. Hold on. You can see my signature right over here where I sign it. Yeah, that's why I'm knowing that I had to show you this. That this is why I'm really a good true artist what I drew. And this is what I had to show you at the back. This one, it says Black Lives Matter. Because we all kind of had to do it, of course. I'm not caring, because I don't act like a Karen. It's just something how I had to show you this. That this is where we know. Because we're fighting to our race. Because we know how we only think that there's police brutality. Because police brutality, that they're coming killing black people. Because you might understand that this is something I only had to show you, that they kind of get us upset. And that's why we're protesting for it. Because, you know, if one of the cops might shoot one of my family members, if one of them who were killed by the police, we're protesting, of course. Like, I see how it would be. Because it shouldn't be if it could have been, like, I hope it's not only no. Like, I see, like, some of the people who died by the police. Like, there's George Floyd, there's Casey Goodson Jr., and there's Andre Hill. I seen them in the news. I know how the family were kind of feel bad about these three good men. Man, I already feel bad for them. Because I can't believe how they're kind of want to treat us bad. And that's why we're protesting. Because if one of the cops might shoot and kill one of my family members, if it shouldn't have been one of my cousins, or if it's my uncle, or even, of course, my aunt, or if it couldn't be like if it's my mom and dad, because I hope it's not, because if they shoot and kill one of my family members, that's kind of upsetting us that we're kind of protesting, and that this is something the problem, that this is where everything, it's the problem how there was something that's going on through it. Like, this is an entire disaster what I'm have to do with it. And even, of course, these Karens we need to stop. Like, I know how we already fight our rights, because that's what you were saying. Black Lives Matter. Because we're all black. That's why we're fighting our race. And that's why we're only doing this. Every day we're doing this, it's coming upsetting us when we're doing it. And that's why it's gonna get fucked up. Everything, it's totally getting fucked up. Everything, how is it kind of upsetting us due of it. It's just suddenly how there was a problem that they kind of wanted to feel like it, that they kind of telling other black people that they're just wanting to feel like they treating us. That's why we're upset for it. Because that's why we were kind of looking at if we're right to protesting, that's what we're doing it. Because if they kind of shooting and kill one of my family members, that's why we're kind of protesting that we're kind of done with this. We're kind of done with this shit. Everything we kind of have this problem, and that's why it's upsetting us. Man, I keep cussing that much like that. This is kind of upsetting us right now. That's the problem. I'm just only don't know how I can't only live with this year. Man, this is a total disaster like this. And anyways, this is just something how I'm known with Karens. They'll listen, but they don't care about that we kind of do matter. Like, we already all lives matter, of course, because Black Lives Matter right now. That's why we're only doing it. Because why did they say, of course, that black... Because you put... Sorry I'm whispering, but one thing they say is that black lives don't matter. I mean, what the hell? What are they saying like that? Are they trying to be racist to us? That's why they're getting their ass whooped, of course. And this is how they keep doing like that. That this is just the problem when they're trying to be like that if they're being treated with us. But I'm finally glad they're getting their ass whooped with this. This is just something how it already costs. And for that, I know how they kind of said that one thing they're saying that all lives matter. All lives matter? You know that everything you keep saying that doesn't treat that all of them don't even lives matter. It's because we're already all lives matter for it to our race. Because black lives matter for it. And this is why you're going to be more treatful for it. Because if you kind of watching these, if you kind of know people, Karens, kind of you might know. I don't have to call you Karen. Because you're the one wanting to stop acting too woo. Like, that's why people are laughing at you. That's why people are kind of say truthful stuff at you. And that's why you need to stop being too racist. Stop getting too offended. Because you know how, this is what I'm seeing one of my classmates, of course. I'm not a teacher. I'm just a student. Because one of the classmates saying truthful stuff around to the Mexicans and the Muslims and the Indians. Which is, I'm kind of part of the Indian race. Because one of my ancestors is, well, from India. One of them is Native American. And one of them is Blackfoot Indian. Because my mother told me that we're calling Blackfoot Indian. That's something how you might only think. Because you're pretty sure that we're calling all Blackfoot Indian. Because my mom kind of looks like she's Blackfoot Indian. Because I look like I am, because it's just one of my ancestors. Because it's just one of my past family that all of my ancestors were kind of relative to them. That's just something you could think. Because I'm pretty sure people, of course, if happens you're being too woo in public, that's why people are filming you. Because look at yourself. You keep acting too truthful all the time. And look at you acting like this right now. Because you're pretty sure. You might understand. Look at you people want to act too woo that you keep doing that in public. Wear your face mask.
I'm not in charge of Peace Park as a corporation, so you can call the headquarters. Well, but as for my store being the manager of the store, I'm required to have everyone wear a face mask for the safety of my employees, for the safety of all of my.
You really need to stop acting too rude, Karen. Because some of the people, if you're acting too rude, of course, that's why people are filming you and they call you Karens. Like, I already see there's some male Karens, which is Kevin's. But, all you people, stop acting too rude, wear your fucking face mask, and listen to the government, and stop treating us to our race. And that's what you're going to do. Stop doing like that. You want to see how you want to get too truthful, that people calling you like that for it? That's kind of an insult for you. That's why you need to stop acting too rude, Karens. That's something how you want to do like that. If you're watching this, if I saw one of your videos, because I watch one of your videos that shows, like, I see Blasphemous HD and KT Witchin, they can be watch one of your videos for it, because it's not you guys filming the Karens, it's just these fucking Karens. But I'm very glad one of them were arrested. They're not literally listening to the government. That's why they're getting so much trouble for it. Because I know how if it gets too problem like that, because I'm literally done with it. Because these Karens are just wanting to treat us like that. And they're getting too offensive and getting too acting too aggressive around in public. Like, I see how they're doing stuff. I only know how they keep trashing everything. Like, I already see some black people who are acting Karens as well. Because I didn't know that black people were acting like Karens. Because none of them, like, they're not actually Karens. Like, all black people are not actually Karens. They're not. It's only the white people who are acting Karens. Like, some of them who are acting too truthful, but some of them who are nice to us. Like, they're nice to us as well. Like, I already know how I met one of my friends. Like, I already met one friend who's actually, well, my best friend. I met him in Northern Middle School. But he is white, of course. He's my friend. I already know how I met him. I texted him. Because since I was transferred to another school. Because the program just changed. Because you might know that I was at Franklin Heights. And you're pretty sure. You might see one of my certificates. Like, these are my certificates I have. And guess what? I was student of the month. And I got an F for an honor award. It's not like a failure for my report card. It's an F for an honor award. Like, you can see it. This one, it says 2019. That's from, like, last year. But to this, it's something how I'm knowing about it. Because it's kind of great. I know how, everything I'm knowing, of course. Like, I see how I'm knowing that I was in Franklin Heights. It's just something I know. But I already know I transferred to Central Crossing. I'm not enjoying it. But to that, my friend, he's a good friend actually. His name was Nathaniel Beechworth. He was my good friend, of course. Like, I already met him in Northern Middle School, but we've been friends, of course. It's like somehow we only know that it's been a while. Because I see him, of course. I'm literally wanting to see him again. Like, I want to see him again. Like, if the program just changed, I want to see that if my girlfriend was here. I'm knowing, of course. Man, 2020 is a disaster. I'm knowing, of course. But man, I'm just hoping that if I see him again, it will have been that 2021 will be the best year. I'm just knowing, of course, of that. And for some reason, for that, I know how everything it's just going through it, because 2020 is a disaster. It's a total mess. But it's just something how I'm not interested into it. But I'm pretty sure. I just wish these Karens would leave us alone, because you know some of them are racist, and some of them who are acting too truthful, they were just being too offensive. But I already know how this is just something how I'm seeing it. And I see how everything that we're getting too offensive, they're getting their ass whooped. That's probably it. That's just some of the problem how I'm tired of it. So that's it. And for some reason, I just wish that if 2021 would have been a great year for it, I'll be glad it would be over. Possibly. Over with. I'm probably glad it's done. It's done for today. So I'll be glad it'll be done. Fortunately. Okay. Man, Nate, if you watch this video, I'm pretty sure that I want to see you again. My true friend, of course. I just wish if you were here at such a cost, and I'd be glad. But, this year is a disaster. I'm only wishing for it. I'll be glad this COVID is going to be over. So, that would have been a good year for it. Yeah. Alright, Alright. Since I got since I got due for that for the Karens, because I'm already know if they watching it, like if one of them was the last day, I'm gonna be glad. If some of these people who was actually a Karen, I know how people are filming them that they're getting to treatful. I know how some of them, like, if it happens to them, like, if they were accident to treatful, that would have been something if they had to stop. Like, here's something. If these Karens had to stop acting too rude, that's just something how they do. If they watch this, you have to stop acting too embarrassed around there in public. And stop acting too racist if you keep wanting to do it. That's why you're going to get in jail for it. That's the reason why. That's why you're getting your ass whooped. That's it. But since I got through with the COVID and the Karen, let's talk about it with movie theaters. Yup, movie theaters. Hold on a second. Yep, movie theaters. So, why is it movie theaters going to be on there on the list for 2020? Well, they were going to shut down. Yup, I posted on Twitter that AMC is getting shut down. But if you follow to my Twitter account and my Instagram account, I'll be already know if you can only click the little bell for it. Because follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Because you might have to see. Like, I already know how you guys watching my videos on YouTube. That kind of only know how you already subscribing to it. Like, similar like that to YouTube, Twitter and Instagram. You can only follow to my account on Instagram and Twitter. You can only see what I have to show you about something that's going on through Twitter and Instagram. Like, you can see one of my artwork. You can only see, like, something what's going on. That's just something I only have to tell you about this. Okay, anyways, back to the list for on our about 2020 that this is a bad year. So, movie theaters. Something I'm talking about with movie theaters is something you might know that 2020 is something how I'm not excited for it. Like, since COVID start going through from America, I see like some movie theaters were being shut down, and movies were actually getting delayed. Like, they're actually been delayed. Like, I seen them like they're gonna be released in theaters soon, but I seen like one of them might be on streaming. Like, I don't know what is going on. Like, I know how movie theaters were already been shut down. Like, you see one of the movie theaters where I'm knowing that they're being shut down. Like, AMC was getting a bankruptcy. AMC was actually getting a bankruptcy, and I just posted a tweet out of it. You might see why I have to show you this. I posted a tweet out of it. If you can follow Twitter and Instagram, if you follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you might have to see about what's going on through that. This is something I have to show you this. So, you might have to see this. Okay, here's this. Here's my account on Twitter. Here's my account on Twitter. You can only see, of course, it doesn't have a picture of it, but it might could have been on it soon. So, these are my usual artwork that you've seen them before. Like, you've seen them, like, earlier from my, like, part of the video, like, from earlier. And some good news that there's something what's going on for 2022 that, there's a new Pixar prequel. And this one is a Toy Story prequel that to show you this, that it's called Lightyear. And Lightyear is actually stars Buzz Lightyear. But it's not actually the toy itself. It's actually the human version, the real life human version of Buzz Lightyear. But he might be going to be played by Chris Evans instead of Tim Allen. Because Tim Allen is no longer going to be voicing Buzz. And Tom Hanks is no longer going to be voicing Woody. Because Toy Story 4 was the final chapter of the whole entire story of Toy Story. So, that's probably it, actually. And you can see, that's kind of my fewest artwork what I did. Like, you see the diamond covered star. Not like a star, like the color diamond you could see. And you could see this very usual design right through. This one, it's just for DreamWorks. Because this one's just something I had to show this. But I know they're not going to show it because I know they're kind of busy. Because I know NBC Universal just bought the rights to it. But if having next year when I'm going to NBC Universal, which is Comcast, I might have to show them about, like, to my own business, my own visual business, that I have to show you that this is something I know when I heard PDI was shut down and Jeffrey Katzenberg has been retired. And you might know, and this is my recent video, my recent tweet that Biden won. Biden is now the president of the United States. Because he's actually the new president. Because since that's probably it, what I'm knowing. Because that's what I'm knowing, that everything we know, that this is something I have to show you. So, that's it. And, look at what I'm going to show you is something you might know to AMC. AMC was actually getting shut down. Because the reason why it was shut down, because it lost $461 million after people can't go to theaters no more, that the pandemic is actually starting even worse since movies were actually going to streaming instead of theaters. But one thing I know, that one of their films was actually a box office flop, and that will be Onward. People never saw Onward because of COVID. Because I know it's not the coronavirus, it's that people never saw it in theaters. But I know, like, it's not their fault. I see... Hold on, let me just get my mind through. Anyways, it's not their fault. I know they're good people. They wanted to see Onward in theaters. But after the COVID-19 pandemic is there in theaters, they had to be going home, that they had to watch on streaming while on Disney Plus. Because I already know, like, now Onward is a box office flop. But it's just something I know that I just showed the link through of it that AMC is getting a bankruptcy. So, that's actually why I'm knowing that it's losing $561 million, that the company is getting a bankruptcy. Because just like how Toys R Us is getting a bankruptcy. Because I know it's gone. I know how if there's some problems. I know Blockbuster has been shut down. And, so is what I'm knowing about it. Everything I know, movie theaters were actually getting shut down because there were some problems. Like, I know how everything when they're getting shut down, that's the thing is that I never noticed how some of them might be getting shut down. But I see some of them might be reopened, because I know other places might be getting reopened. It's just that I know the pandemic is even worse. But with that, I know about that. It's just something I know the problem is that one thing that it's a disappointment that I can't notice about with movie theaters. But the one thing it seems like on streaming service on home on demand is that something it doesn't feel right to me is that Trolls World Tour. And you should know Trolls World Tour is actually that causes the Universal problem that it caused, that Universal has been banned. But either, by the way, the one thing I know about it is that the one thing that's good news is that Universal already had an apology agreement from AMC that they streamed Trolls World Tour while on streaming service or home on demand. So now they're not going to do it no more, but they're getting good news about what's going on. They're getting a strict deal. Like, I see, like, when one of their movies going to get released. Like, I see The Invisible Man has been released, like, on theaters on 17 days. That they're going to be released on streaming online. Not online, like, they're going to be streaming online. That it's going to be a home on demand. Like, one of my recent fans, I know how Trolls World Tour was a great sequel to DreamWorks. Because it is something I know. But it's a disappointment when I know about there's some problems with Trolls World Tour. maybe I might have to review it. Like, I never reviewed Trolls of Tour after the pandemic, but maybe I might review it. And, some reason, Trolls of Tour, not Trolls of Tour, Universal had like that when I know about one of the recent films. Like, one of the recent films I heard is a DreamWorks sequel, which is The Croods of New Age. And originally, I was supposed to go see that in theaters, but the pandemic it caused. But originally, I was supposed to watch it on home on demand, but it wasn't on Hulu. But I can't believe that it wasn't on Hulu because it was on streaming service Amazon Prime Video. But if I had to buy Amazon Prime Video, I'm getting excited to watch it. But for some reason, I already know, if I'm waiting for it's gonna be on Hulu, I might have to watch it. And, for some reason, I already know how DreamWorks started with it, that this is just something I know how, this is what I'm knowing. I know how the COVID been like that, they fucked up around there to movie theaters. Because it's you might see, if you know about the pandemic, people are going to say, oh shit, the pandemic. Are you kidding me? They caught me closing down movie theaters. You won't fucking believe this. Yeah. It's something like that. It's just something how this pandemic started with it. That this is not a good start with it. But I know, I had to say some curse words. I had to say that in the video, of course, because it's gotta get age restricted. Because I already know, I shouldn't, say some stuff around there on the video, on public. But I had to start saying it. You know it's gonna be age restricted. Because I already see Billy Bartami, which is BBT Network, has got strike on his channel. He got a strike on his channel that it causes some offensive stuff, and it has a lot of hate speech. And that's what I'm knowing like that, because his channel, it looks like it's gonna be over with for him. Because I see that one of his videos were getting blocked by Viacom and Warner Bros. Because I know there was this one recent video that was from Meat Canyon. Because I know how Meat Canyon had made these videos, but it kind of ruins our childhood. But he made one video it shows is Rapid Season. And Rapid Season is actually the video that shows Bugs Bunny. But what happens, of course, that Warner Bros. Currently think that they're storing... Warner Bros. Think that Meat Canyon is storing their property to a character, and that comment might be a copyright strike. And that's why that video was removed, and that's why it was blocked. It's no longer going to be there on YouTube. Because I know BBT Network has his video that it was blocked by Warner Bros. And now it's actually been removed. But on the plus side, he was on Vimeo, because I know he was on Vimeo, that he made one of his recent videos that wasn't going to be on there on YouTube, because one of his videos might be going to get blocked from other properties from Hollywood production companies, which is Viacom, Warner Bros., Universal, and Disney. Everything I'm knowing that's kind of giving a strike. And that's why they're going to be on Vimeo. And that's something how Vimeo works. And even, of course, one of his recent videos were actually age restricted, and it cannot be shown around there to children. Because I know that the CEO, of course, which is, Susie? Wait, hold on a second. What's her name? Hold on a second, I'll be right back. Susan Wojcicki? Man, that's a weird last name. What's it said? Susan Wojcicki? No, I'll call it Susan W. So, Susan W. is the CEO of YouTube. Because I know how Billy Bartami is pissed off to her. Because I know how she kind of wants to do something to YouTube that she wanted to give out family-friendly content instead of adult content. Because it seems like that it's even worse. People were actually down on YouTube, and that's why people were actually quit YouTube because of Susan. Because I know Billy Bartami is upset with her. But if Billy Bartami if he looks like he's way too while if he looks like he's way too quit on YouTube, that's what the thing is, that he might be quitting on YouTube, and that's it. But in some reason, if you don't know who Billy Bob Townley is, he's actually a YouTuber who's actually a reactor. He reacted to some YTP videos that were very, getting too inappropriate. He says a lot of swear words, and you probably know he drinks Budweiser beer he's drinking. But it's just something how I know how he's doing with it, because it looks like how he knows about it. Like, he met this Barry, and he already know he met Barry, which is known as this Barry, and even of course Otis, which is the Otis show. It's just now I know how his channel is getting worse. But you're pretty sure, I'm not sure, I already know how Susan knows about it with BT Network. But hopefully my video's gonna get age restricted because I keep swearing, because you know how Billy Bob Townley videos were acting to going to the high whoa to profanity. And I'm pretty sure if you guys were watching my video, if you guys were kids, I want to say, if you guys were kids by watching my video, please don't watch BBT. Please don't get onto BBT Network's channel, because if you guys were little children by checking out his channel, please do not get on that channel if you're older enough, because that channel is actually an inappropriate age restricted channel, because you know his channel says that the video is not for kids, because you know all his videos are not for kids. But please, if you guys were little children, please do not go onto his channel to watch one of his recent videos. Please do not, because you know you're not ready yet to watch it if you're older enough. Like if you're 18 years old, that'd be good if you watch one of his recent videos. Because if you're 18, of course, or 21 years old, that'd be good if you can watch one of his recent videos, because you're not ready to watch them, because they're just inappropriate videos that he kind of react. Because he didn't know that it's not a good channel for you guys. That channel is actually for adults. And I already know I am a kid and a teenager, because you know that teenagers are kids, because you know I'm still a kid as well too as a teenager, because I am a teenager. But I watch one of his recent videos that I watch, and that made me chuckle, because that's it, because I'm just 16 years old. It's just how I watch one of his recent videos. And that's one of the other things through of it. Yeah. And even the cards, it's not about YouTube. What is it? Guy, movie theaters. Movie theaters are just one to ruin everything to our whole life like that. No, not like they're ruining to our whole life. It's COVID. I see when I'm knowing that I want to go see DreamWorks The Croods A New Age. That's the recent film I was trying to watch. But Hulu, I know how Hulu, it's just only not picking up yet. But it wasn't going to be released on Peacock. I mean, what the hell? How is it not going to be on Peacock since it's on demand? If I want to watch it, it would be great that I'm watching it if it would be on there. Because it's been like 7 years since the sequel has been revived. And that's why I'm knowing that it's finally been 7 years. But I'm very glad they released it. But for some reason, I'm just only wish if anything with the sequel, I'm knowing how if it's great, it looks something that I'm interested through with it. For that. Okay, right now. I'm not about McDowell to movie theaters. They're great. I'm not about like that because I know how the Kudzu New Age is on theaters and streaming. But if I wanted to see the Kudzu New Age, I know this is gonna be great. Originally, I know about there was another sequel which is The Boss Baby Family Business, but I heard it was delayed. It was literally delayed, of course. So yeah, that's it. And some of the movies I heard, they were been delayed. Like, I heard, Soul, the new Pixar film, which is, Soul. I heard it was, delayed since it's on December 25th, since it was on streaming on Disney Plus. But if I might be buying Disney Plus, that would be great. But, to me, I'm not, like, a huge... Well, to me, I had to review, with a Disney film. Like, a Disney film that I had to review is actually Wild Breaks the Internet. But you might know about the truth. The truth I'm trying to tell you is that you might know about it. If I'm reviewing Wild Breaks the Internet, you might understand about what's with anything around to that. I have to tell you the truth about Disney. So you might know. But I'm a little bit Pixar fan. Of course, I know how Pixar did a lot of good work on one of their computer animated features. They did well, actually, but I'm a little bit fan of Pixar. But I'm interested into DreamWorks like that, of course. Okay, anyways, I know how, one of the recent films might be streaming on demand, but it's just something how I can't only do with it. That I'm knowing about how anything with that, I'm knowing how it just seems like it's going through. Like, I know how movie theaters are going through, but I know how one of the recent films might be getting delayed. Like, I heard one of them. Like, I know that DreamWorks had one of the recent films. Like, there's, Boss Baby, Family Business, Spirit Untamed, and an original film, which is The Bad Guys. They were been delayed. Like, I heard what's going on through. Like, I see, like, Spirit Untamed is going to be released on June 4th next year. And what happens, of course, is that, the Boss Baby Family Business has been delayed. Like, it's been years since it was on March 26th that's going to be releasing. But to that, it wasn't no more. It was been delayed. Like, I heard that it was delayed, of course, to March 26th, because the first film was being released on March 31st. But what's going on is that, the film has been delayed, and now what happens, it's been delayed. So, it's going to be released on September 17th, 2021. Which is originally that Boss Baby just took its release date from the Bad Guys project, because originally originally September 17th, 2021, you might know about the release date. You might know there's 3 DreamWorks films, like, after Performer Boss Baby took it. Not like 3 of them, it's only 2. Like, I heard there's this original film that you guys never heard of it before. It's called Spooky Jack. And it was a Blumhouse animated project from DreamWorks Animation to be distributed by Universal Pictures. But that film was entirely scrapped, and it was, removed. And now the Bad Guys kind of took its restate. That's why it was been removed for it. But then what happens, of course, on December 28th, the release date has been removed from the Bad Guys project, and now it's going to be released on 2022, but it doesn't have a month and a day to be released, because it has 1 year, but it was unknown. They don't know which month it's going to be releasing at, like, if it might be released on March 15 or April 17 or June 2nd or something. Like, we don't know. Because if DreamWorks might understand which release date they're going to release for the Bad Guys project for 2022, we'll see. And for some reason, the one you might know is that the Boss Baby Family Business just took the Bad Guys Project release day that now it's going to be released on September 17th. So, they kind of changed it like 3 times ahead of one of their 3 projects. Because now, Spooky Jack was being removed, Bad Guys, it's there, but then the release date was removed, and now Bad Guys is going to be released on 2032. And now, Boss Baby Family Business is going to be released on September 17th. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And for Sony Pictures Animation, there's like another anime film I heard, but it was something you might know. It's called The Mitchells versus the Machines, but which they changed it into Connected. Because I heard Sony Pictures Animation had announced that there's a film called Connected, and one thing with the problem is that it's no longer going to be released on 2020, because it's because of that pandemic it's causing it, and now it's originally going to be released on 2021. So now it's actually know what's going on to it, that now it's going to be released on 2021. So which is something where I'm knowing that could have been the best thing like that for whole of the film industry. But yeah, that shouldn't have been like that actually. And the other thing, I know how Sonic the Hedgehog has been through with it, because since it's on streaming service, I think, but now it's on there, because since it was in theaters, since it's on home on demand. So yeah, and one thing I had to know is that the thing is that I know how I'm known with the film industry, but what I already know is that one of the recent films has been delayed, but then they've been released. Like, I know how Trolls of Tour was being released, because originally I heard it was going to release on it's going to be released on April 10th, 2020. Because I know it changed it, but originally it's going to be released on February. And then it's going to be released on April 17th. But then, when the COVID started, then what happens, of course, Trolls for Tour has been returned on April 10th, 2020. Because I know they've been delayed, of course, for this day. And that's it for the movie theaters and the movies. Okay, now, okay, since I got done with, COVID, Karen, and, movie theaters, it's time to move on with politics. So, I know about politics. Why do I have to talk about it with politics? Okay, here's something. The politics I'm knowing about it, it's not like it's bad, but it's talking about with the election, like the presidential debate. Like, I know how there's some disaster what's going on, like police brutality, it's like getting worse like there, because I already know people were actually getting like their crashing around to the entire city, because I know the state house like that from the mayor and the governor, they know about something, of course, that they were upset because Andre Hill was killed from the police. And I know what's going on through. Like, people were tired of everything what's going through with it. It's like a disaster what's happening, that this is where we know that 2020 is a disaster through. But the politics, I know that the good news is that it's the only good news, but the other things were actually bad stuff. Like, you might know what's going on through it. Like, I've seen, like, everything through, like, I see, everything I'm knowing about it is that, the good news that I know is that I know how Trump has been president for the past few years like that, because since 2016, it's just where we know it's that Hillary Clinton has been in there with that for being Trump, but now I know about that Clinton has been dropped and she lost the election. Now Donald Trump is now president. But what I know about it is that I know what to only do with it. It's that Trump is actually now president. Because since I know what's only going through with it, it's just something I know what's only going on that people were having some problems through with it. But now it's like it's hell on there. But I know what I'm knowing through with it. But the good news is that I know how people were knowing about it. That the quotes they're saying, Donald Trump, you're fired. They saying that they're kind of celebrating right now that Biden, like Joe Biden, won the presidential debate and he won the election. So he will be the next president for 2021. And over the past few years, that he's actually now the new president. Because I already know, like, Trump is still in office for the government and the White House. But when I know what's to do with it, it seemed like how I know that when he writes something for the agreement for it, he's no longer going to be in office for the White House. So Biden is now president. Because I know, I already know his vice president. Like, I know his vice president, Kay Harris. I know what's only doing it. Like, Kay Harris already. Well, hold on a second. I already know that Kamala Harris, because I already know how she says that she already ends like from the White House bed, and I already know how she's knowing about the lack of funding since it's known about it through the White House. And speaking of which, I know how she's not allowed to be like. I know how she's while knowing that she was not the safe like that from the VP pick. And it's just something how I know what's only go through that this is just something how it's Joe Biden's vice president. And I'm pretty sure this is what I know how this is good news right now since Trump has been like gonna be out of the office along to the White House and the government. Because I already know how Trump, it's just something how this is how there were some problems to do with it. But for now, That's just it. It's just something how I know what's going on through that Joe Biden is now the new president, like the next president. I'm very glad it's only going to be over with right now because it's just something that I know what's only going on through it. I'm very glad it's going to be over with for it because that's it for it. That's it for what I only know for it. I already know how the election day has only go through, but that's good. That's kind of good, actually. Okay, Okay, Okay then. Okay. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, now let's go on to the next one. We always see some people that there was like a lot of people around cities. One thing I know about it, like, there was like a lot of cities through of it. Like, I know this is what I'm knowing what's going through. There's some I'm not sure, like, what it only goes through is that some of these people will actually disappear. They're, like, missing people. Like, I already know some missing people weren't... I already see some people who went missing. Like, I see their posters on there. Like, I see there was a Amber Alert. that's just where we know that someone who kind of kidnapped one of these people. And I know what's going on through. Like, I see what's only going on been in there from the past few years. Like, I already know, like, some of these missing people, like, they've already been missing. But I don't know, like, some of them were dead, some of them who were alive. That's it. I have to give a short term about what missing people. I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to see if... I don't see what's going on through it, because I heard, like, some of these people who have been abducted. Because 2020, it's been, like, a terrible year. Like, some of these people were kind of being abducted, because I've seen them at the news. And one thing I know about it is that, wait, hold a second. Hold a second, guys. There's something what's going on in the window. Like it's smoking. Wait, hold on. I don't know, you guys. There's something that feels like it's smoking out there outside. I don't know what it is. Anyways, I don't know what is with, like, some serial killers coming wanting to kidnap, like, some other people. Like, I already know how they're not listening to the government, because that could have been, like, an anarchy. Like, anyway, an anarchy, that's just something how I know that when kidnapping, it's just, like, illegal and abducted people, illegal. When that was when I know what's going on, it's just something how nothing's really only gonna get worse. Like, I see some of the celebrities who went missing and then one of them died. It's like, I see her, like, in Glee, but she was a teen, but now she's older, she went missing. She wasn't being abducted, she wasn't being kidnapped. Like, she wasn't being, like, abducted, she wasn't being kidnapped, she was, the bullet's been crashed, and even, of course, she was missing, like, in underwater, but that's it. But in some reason, some of these missing people, they were alive. I seen one of the recent videos it shows, but it's been like that. But it's still how I think. I'm just hoping that, I'm not sure what's going on there, because that's kind of could have been a crime. Because it shouldn't have been. I already know how people were reporting that some of these people who were being abducted. Like, I don't like how they're gonna get abducted. Like, I'm not sure. Like, there was something what's going on. Like, I see mom, of course. Like, my mother just saw a sex offender, of course, who's living in Havenwood. Like, she saw him swell 2 times riding the bike. And you're pretty sure, he was a sex offender. My mom showed me the picture of him. And I don't know what's the name of this guy, but he kind of like kidnaps children like that since he was a sex offender. Cause I don't know, like, I'm not want to live in this place. Like, I don't want to get like getting abducted by a sex offender, cause he looks like he's starting to look like I'm getting creeped out, cause he looks like he wants to. Well, even of course, I'm not only going to do it, I might have to say it on YouTube. Oh, here it goes. I don't want to see if he looks like he's trying to rape me. Like, raping me. Or I might be going to get killed, of course. That's it. Yeah. Say it, of course, Susan. All you're not going to see if you're going to start giving me a strike for it. If you give me a strike on my channel, I don't know how I had to do it for YouTube. That YouTube is kind of a piece of shit. Yeah, I shouldn't be like still swearing stuff, but I had to say it because this video is gonna be age restricted. But it's just so that I had to say it. It's just so that you might understand. But to this, what happens when I'm knowing about it is that I don't want to see if I'm gonna get like rape, because if he was right over here when I'm walking to the store, I look like if I might be gonna get kidnapped, because I had to run through, like, to my house before I can call my mother, because he looks like he's, crazy around there. If I saw him right over here, I'm gonna have to run and call my mother for it, or she might call the police that report that they arrested him. If they call him, I'm hoping until it's gonna be over with, because This is why I don't see if people might be gonna get abducted. Like, I seen that on the news. Like, everything that was on the news. Everything. And the one thing I'm knowing about it is that there is some gun violence. Like, I heard something on what's going on. It's that there is some gun violence what's going on that's to do with it. Like, I heard my neighbor was shot. Because he was shot in the leg and the stomach. Like, that's Gabe's son, of course. He was right here at the end of the house. He was right here at the house, of course, at the end of that house that was like near to my house, to my address. My address is literally says 4317. 4317. 4317. That's my address. Because the problem is, it's just not going well. Sorry, there was some siren sounds from the police. That's some of the thing what's going on with it. It's that there was something that was a crime committed. Because if it happens with these people, if they don't listen, I'm just hoping that they don't want to abduct people or kidnap people. Like, I don't want to see if they're going to kidnap like little kids, because that guy, I already know, Mom saw him 2 times, that he's a sex offender, but I'm just hoping he's gonna get arrested. Comedy's not that. Oh! The gun violence. Okay, the gun violence. I just said the one thing. Anyways, I heard that my neighbor was shot, because my neighbor was shot, of course, because I heard there was some 3 gunshots. I'm hearing it after I got my 3 shots when I was at the doctor's. Because I was at the doctor's appointment. Because there was something what I'm knowing about it. It's that my neighbor was shot. Like, I just see in the news, but there was no footage. Like, something what's going on. It's that my neighbor was shot. You're pretty sure. Everything you can see on the. Everything you can see, of course. I already know how he got shot, because I just saw that was right there, but they don't got the footage in there. But the news caught something that was on there in the news. It was reported for it. But it's just seemed like that everything what's going on, that this is something what I'm seeing, that that's why that's why I know that there's police tags. Like, I seen what's going on. There was some gun shooter. There was some guy who has that gun shoot, because it could have been the group of teens. Like, it could have been there. Because what I know about it, it's that I already know how he got shot in the leg. It's like some homicide investigation what's going on, because it's acting crazy. Because I know, like, this place I'm living in, it's acting crazy. I already know how it's acting insane what's around there. Even with, it's not the thing I was interested with it. And that's it. And that's it. And another thing for gun violence is that there's like the convenience store where I go there like every day. There's something I have to know about this. There was like a group of teens on there, and the one thing that seemed like I got shocked is that there's a couple of gun shoots. Like, a couple gunshots while I'm hearing it, is that there's something what's going on too. Because I heard it was reported that he was arrested for it by there, because he shot his friends and now they're dead. It was on there on the news. They caught it on the news. I wasn't telling me I'm shocked when I saw that, and it is disturbing while I'm hearing it. It is crazy. It was really, really crazy. And for some reason, there were some problems with it too. Like, when we live in Havenwood, there was like a couple gunshots. Like, I hear it. The one thing I'm knowing from gunshots is that this is why I was in my sister's house. That there was that white lady. Well, my mom just saw this white woman, of course, who was at her car fighting with another woman, because her kids were in there. And that's why she kind of got the gun shooting, that she kind of causing it. But the police kindly got reported for... The people kindly called the police that they report that there was a gun shooting around there. Because you might know, the white lady wasn't only know that she kind of caused the problem, but this is something you might know that my mom just saw her. And I only know, if it was a camera, I might have to film it. Like, if like there was something that's crazy around there, I have to film it. Like, everything I have to film it, it might be going to be on social media that this is huge. Because if they caught that in the news, I pretty had to know that it's been reported, of course, that this is something that there's like investigation what's going on. And this is like, it's acting crazy, of course. It's chaos. Everything. Everything's chaos. And I know, like, there was some commercial shows, because that's might be the last thing for the gun violence. That's one more thing for the gun violence until I move on to the last one, which is the grand finale of something what's going on to it. So, the one thing that I know about what's going on to gun violence, there was something that I know, what's happening. There was like a video, there was a commercial that shows, one thing I know what's happening, like I saw the commercials, that there's like a pretty visual advertisement that there was a woman, of course. There was like a woman that I heard that she's talking about to her 2-year-old son. I was feel depressed about what happened. I was feeling bad to her son got shot, her 2-year-old son. The one thing I heard that her son was shot, because I heard that advertisement that her 14-year-old brother was playing with a gun. Like, I saw that advertisement. Man, I feel bad for that woman. My mom just talked to her earlier, because it was depressing, I heard. My mom just talked to her, of course. I didn't know she was talking to her, because she was talking about it to her son being shot. Because after he heard that her 14-year-old brother just shot her 2-year-old son, it was being reported that he actually killed, well, his sister's son, of course, her 2-year-old son. Man, that was depressing. And I'm pretty sure, like, I don't like how people want to play around with guns. Guys, I know how my brother Kenny, of course, like, my dad told me about my brother Kenny. And you don't know, of course, Kenny is my long lost brother since I was born in 2004. It was depressing. The one thing I know about it is that my brother Kenny was, he died from a gunshot because him and his friend were playing guns, of course, and it was shock. I heard that my dad heard that my brother Kenny my brother Kenny has died, of course, from a gunshot wound. It was a disaster when I'm hearing it. Everything. Hold on. It's been a tough time that I didn't know I have a brother. And I didn't know he died from a gunshot wound. Jeez. It's like a disaster I'm having. Wait, hold on. Feels like I'm hearing fireworks or something because it looks like they're having a party for New Year's Eve. Because it is. So, I'm just knowing how my brother is dead, of course, from a gun wound shot. That's just like how, that's just like to that lady, of course, from the advertiser that her son was shot. Thanks to her brother did that, of course, but he should not allow playing with guns, because I'm not sure, like, everything like that, that's how people are being more stupid how they're doing it, because that's the problem. I know how this is something I know. Like, I know how, like, I know when Kenny was dead from a gunman shot. Man, I didn't know I have a brother, of course. This is like the depressing thing that I have in the problem. Man, it's been fucked up. Great. Alright, time for the grand finale by whatever you see for 2020. So yes, everything for 2020, it's just something how I have to give it the grand finale. Like, the first thing I know, 2020 is just an awful year. And one thing I have to say is that, fuck you, 2020. And you're pretty sure how annoying is that. This is just something how I know why 2020 is terrible. And so, I had to give it the number one about how I give it some very usual. Well, here's something, of course. Okay. Some usual thoughts, so I have to say some thoughts around there for 2020 is that it's just something how it's bad for it. So I have to give it the grand finale that I have to tell you about what's going on through. So the grand finale that what's on number one for it is literally the police brutality. Yeah, the police brutality. So the police brutality. This is something how it's terrible for it. But Kami, before I begin, here's an honorable mention. There's only one thing for 2020. And that's coming from to California. I didn't go there to California, but you see how there was something crazy what's going on. At California, there was like something you might know. It's literally the wildfire around there, and it was acting crazy. Cause I didn't go to California, but we're going there next year. Cause we're going to NBC Universal, and that's what we're doing there for it. Cause when I heard about like some California vibes, what I'm knowing, the one thing I know is that one thing that seems like angry with California, it's the wildfires. Like, the good thing is that I didn't go to California with the wildfires. But the one thing is, the bad thing is that California had a lot of wildfires, and it was insane. It was kind of an aggressive swarm of fire, and this is like it's like a very massive message that's come from Satan that, how about this? I hate California and I wanted to burn it, of course, that I wanted to kill it. And it looks like it's a message like from Satan. And that's it. And you're pretty sure everything I know is that the wildfires, it's like a really, really wildfire to hell. That it's like something, it's crazy that California is acting like it's, crazy. Like, it's everything. Like, it's crazy around in California, like from the earthquake, the hurricanes, and now it's even the wildfires. It's acting insane, of course. Where did it cause that fire? We don't know how they been there without fire. Because that's the honorable mention for it. So anyways, let's go back to, police brutality. Police brutality is something how I'm knowing that this is kind of upsetting us. Like, here's something. The one thing it's upsetting us is that we know how we heard some of the people who are black who died for it from the cops. Like, we heard about what's going on. Some of the cops, I know how they were helping us. Like, they're kind of really good. They kind of like good heroes for it, because I know how they were helping citizens. Like, I'm kind of a citizen, of course, that was in there for Ohio, because I know how everything I know from the police, I know what's only going on, because I was getting in trouble when I was 13 because I didn't go to school. I was getting frustrated, and I was having a fight to my mom and my sister for it, because since the police showed up. But I was almost got arrested since I came in there to North Middle School, because I was acting frustrated, because my families just keep wanting to bother me that much. That's why I was wanting to move out to go to California, that this isn't much a good fit. But if they're trying to make me stress me out, it's just wanting to feel like I'm having my anger out, that I'm look like I'm ready to start acting crazy if they kind of want to leave me alone for it. I know it's just something how they wanted to leave me alone for it, and that's why I was moving. But I had to wait until 2022. So for some reason, the police brutality, it's just something how, I know how it's crazy, but I already know how the police shot since I know I was almost arrested, but I came in there from North Middle School, so that's good. And the one thing I can't handle it is that, this is a problem to it. Like, I know how I'm seeing some problems that, that this is just something how I can't really handle with ending with the police, that they caught me hurting people for it. Like, I heard, like, from months ago, I heard, George Floyd. Like, I heard George Floyd was choked by a cop before. And since he was dead, I heard that people were protesting, and it was outraging. My cousin Leah was, well, getting booed from protesters because they were upset because what they did is that the police literally don't listen everything in court, since that's upsetting us. That's why we're fighting our rights, and this is the problem. I'm hearing the police. What's going on? Hold on. Sorry. Anyways, it was crazy around. Like, I know it's crazy that this is everything I'm knowing, that this is what I'm knowing, that I'm having the problem with it, but I know it's just something how everything what's going on, like, I know, like, everything what I'm knowing is that they wanted to hurt other people who were black. Like, I know how I post a tweet for it. It's been like months ago, because it was my first ever tweet that I had on Twitter, so you might see it. Okay, here it goes. Let me just show you. This is talking about it to Floyd's death, because you might have to be this is about with Floyd's death across the U.S. that Trump responded to. Protesters knocked the U.S. off its soapbox, and that's what we know. It knocks it off of there for Trump. And beyond the protests of black people, I drew this. Yeah, I kind of drew it because you might have to see what's going on. Like, I drew that on my sketchbook. It just shows that it was a lot of people. Like, there was so many people that this is why it gets upsetting. Like, I drew some hidden Easter eggs. I drew, like, you see, like, there's one guy to the right. Oh, you see this one guy to the right. He's wearing some very usual Nike outfit. Like, he's wearing the Nike hat and the Nike sweatshirt. And that's why we're knowing what's going on. It's that it was crazy that this is something how they were protesting. Like, here's something. Guess what it says? Guess what it says on there? What it just says? Everything the way it just says it for it. Like, everything you see what it says. Okay. Alright, here's something what it says. So, guess why I want this. No place for hate, no more hate speech, no place for racism. We stand for our family and black people. They were outraged at act of racism. Black Lives Matter. This is what we're going to know, because we see how I was upset like that, because everything I'm seeing it is that we have to end police brutality, because this is what we knowing that everything, it was a whole disaster that 2020 had caused this. We really know. Like, I see what's going on. Everything we know is that it's a problem like that. The police literally wanted to do that they want to upset us. It's kind of upsetting to us that this is what we're done with this. So, for that, when people were really protesting, they're done with it. We're really want to protest. Everything they're doing it, we know we're finishing it, of course. We're done for it. And this is where we know what's going on. Everything that they keep causing the problem, this is what we're done. We're not only doing it to the problem. Everything we keep doing this, we're knowing how everything we see is that the problem is they keep wanting to act out like this. They really need to stop. And that's what we really know. We're fighting our rights. Everything we're doing it, of course. But I already know there was this one video that shows from the news that the police kind of take a knee around to the protesters. I know how this is something we know. They were knowing about how people were actually protesting of it. But it's just actually what's doing with it. We already know how we seen it. We kind of want to know how everything that it wants to cause in it. And that's what it used to be, that everything that we're only fighting rights. I know how some of the people were upsetting, of course. Like, I know how J.C. Goodson Jr. was shot from the back. I know the family were sad about what happened. And Andrew Hill, he was shot. I know how I saw some of the people who got shot from there. And that's coming out the police were actually taking it too far enough to us. And this is why it was crazy. That's everything. It was outrage that we're finally ready for it. That we're only had to protest around there to there, like fighting for it. And this is why we're fighting through with it. That we had to end the brutality right now from there. And that's coming where we're finishing. That we're finally done with this shit. Everything, we're finally done with it. And now it's screwing the fuck up. And now it's just driving us crazy. Everything is just driving me crazy that much. That we're finally in and out for this. Jesus Christ. It's just making me stress out. I don't like about how I'm knowing, of course. We're knowing about it. Everything we're knowing about it. We're done with this. We already know how, if it's crazy for it. We don't know how it's acting and saying that it has to stop. This is actually acting crazy that we don't know how we're going to do with this. Like, I don't want to see what's going to happen if one police officer taking why did something bad. I ain't do nothing, of course, today. What's going to happen to me? If there's just one police who called me why I think I did something bad, I didn't do something bad. I was trying to do something. Like, I was trying to walk there, trying to buy some food before I had to pay for it. And now what happens? They think I'm actually a thief. Not actually a thief. You know how I'm annoying. Like, I didn't do something bad. Like, I'm not speeding too fast. I'm just only driving. I didn't got a car yet. But what happens like that, I'm not only what happens like that for it. It's that I don't see everything what's going on to our country. Our country, it's just not what I'm doing with it for it. I don't know how it's on going through with it. It's been fucked up. I already know how I'm seeing it. Everything we see, it's just getting too crazy. How we know how we travel that to this. If it happens, I know. If one police officer got me arrested for it, I don't see what happens if I might be gonna get choked or I might be gonna get shot. If happens I was injured and I got killed from the police. I didn't do something wrong. I'm just walking there. I don't want to see what happens if I might be gonna get shot. I'm not a threat. I'm literally listening. And what happens, this is why the police were actually wanting to feel how they're getting too offensive. And this is where it's hurting us that we're being treated. And that's why I'm kind of done with this shit. This has been fucked up. I don't know how we can't really end like this. Like, I know how I don't see how one of my family members, if they were gonna get shot from the police, if they're gonna get killed, we're actually been treated and we're being fucked up for it. And that's why we're protesting for it. Because I don't see what's happening and I don't want to know what's happening for it to our country. I already know how I'm giving a speech while I'm knowing that we're not going to know what's happening, that we're going to get screwed up, that everything, it's been fucked up around there. We don't know how we keep going to get through with it. That how? We already know. The police are going to get ended by termination, that this is why they're going to get terminated for it. Everything, it's just not on getting with it. I'm not sure how we only end with this. I'm not even know. I don't see what's happening. If the police thinking why I did something wrong, I ain't do nothing actually. If they really want to kill me, of course, if I get shot, that's what I'm knowing about it. It's that this is where people were getting frustrated, and this is why we know. They're not going to get frustrated. They're upset. That's why they're protesting. Everything we know, that this is why it's upsetting around there. This is why we're fighting to operate. We want to end the police brutality right now, that they won't want to kill us right now. That's what we're knowing for it. Man. That's really fucked up. Fucking up to my whole life. If this is something I can't have with 2020, it's a disaster. I'm just hoping I don't want to see one of my members. I'm not want to see what's only going to happen if one of them was shot and killed. Oh, just relax. God. In conclusion, 2020 is one of the worst years I've been in there, and I was been fucked up. That's what I'm knowing. In conclusion, 2020 is one of my worst years. That it's literally a disaster. Everything I know, of course, 2020, it's been like that. Like, there are some good dots I know. Like, I know how there's good dots. Like, I see one of the stores has been reopened. I know, like, good dots. Like, I know how, everything, like, we've already been home, of course, with no school since we have to be on school online. Which is literally a good thing how 2020 has been there. So it's actually a conclusion for it that 2020 is finally gonna get done with it. Cause you're pretty sure it's one of the worst years. Like, here it says, wildfires, disappearing people, the death around to other people from the police, the very usual, the very usual thing, of course, is that this is how Trump really wants to, wanting to cause everything what's going on through of it. But I already know he is nice, but to him, he was gonna get out of the government that this is where Joe Biden's the new president. But it's just somehow I'm thinking it. And then finally, the coronavirus pandemic. That it's just something how we're ending off for this. That this is the final time that 2020 that it's finally gonna be over with. Like, we already know the 2010 decade has been starting with it. Like, it's over with the 2010 decade. We already know how it's going through. Because since everything was great, I had good thoughts with the 2010 decade for it. That this is just something good thoughts. 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2016. Those are my good years. But 2017, 2018, 2019, those are my worst years. And then 2020, it's my ultimate year. I already know it was a disaster. And here's something. Well, I know everything around there. We already know there's good thoughts. Like, some movies going to be streaming online. Because Trolls for Tour was released. We already know. We already think how everything with DreamWorks and NBC Universal have been released Trolls for Tour online. But we already know how we think that the whole entire pandemic, the whole entire police brutality, the whole entire wildfire, and the whole entire thing we know is just, this is just where some problems we think. It's just a disaster. We're finally ending off with 2020, and we're finally ready to end off for it, and this is where we're finally glad it's over with. So, anyways, here's something I get some good thoughts on there. So, here's some good thoughts to 2020. Number one, some movies online, of course. They were good, actually, right now. Trolls for Tour has been released in there. But even, of course, I know how AMC was done with Universal, but since Universal apologized, and this is how we know that they're finally ready to have with them with a 17-day streak when they're going to be online streaming, if one of their movies is going to be in theaters. And then, there were some good thoughts around there, like, we have to stay home. That's kind of the good thing, how we're not going to be at school. Because I know, I do love school. I only wanted to go in there for school when I had to get learning. Because I really had to get caught up around there for Central Crossing. And we had to be online. That's one thing, the good thing. And the other thing, I think that there's one good thing I like. Something that seems like a good thing when knowing thoughts of 2020 is that I know there's a birthday parade for it, but I don't have the birthday parade for it because I have a terrible birthday dinner for it. It was a disaster. It's not a disaster that it is terrible, of course. My birthday dinner is it's terrible. I literally hate about it. 2020 is not my favorite. Because I already know. I was diagnosed with autism because I am autistic. Because, you know, I had that autism spectrum disorder where I was diagnosed. Because since I was born. Because it's just somehow I have my autism spectrum disorder. It's because I was diagnosed with autism. It's just somehow I'm thinking that this is something I know about. Like, it's because of my speech. It's because the sentences I say on a long form speech. It's because I'm kind of like, visually that I keep, walking like that, too weird. And the problem is I keep talking to myself. And even like that, I keep doing that weird thing that I keep daydreaming. And that's probably it, what I'm thinking that when I had it. And I'm just hoping that one day in 2021, if I have a good birthday dinner for it, I'm hoping that it would have been good for it. Because I might be turning 17, well, next year. Next year for it. Because you might know I'm getting closer at the age of 18 that I'm finally ready to grow up. Because I'm finally ready to grow up. I'm getting closer to it. I'm finally ready for it. But I had to start doing more work for school that I had to get caught up with. And the other thing that's the good thing for 2020 is that something that's good. What's the other thing that's good enough? Something that's good. I'm thinking that there's something. Hold on a second. The good thoughts I know for 2020 is that my baby niece's journey was bored right now, cause thank God I'm just hoping I already know my good thoughts because my sister was pregnant, because the pandemic has only been started, because I'm already glad that my sister's okay. She wasn't gonna get affected, because I know her daughter's okay, because it is something how I know that this is just something how everything for 2020, I know it's a good thing that my baby niece is born, because she was born on March 23rd, but it was right after through my birthday on March 19th, because here's something, March 19th, that's my birthday, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. This is where March 19th what's been started, and then 4 days. Journey is gonna have her first birthday on 2021. She's ready to become 1 year old right now, cause we're already doing that. Cause since she looks like how she not even starting with it, cause I already know how. I already know how my sister had been glad there was another kid, of course. Because since I already know how I have my nephew, because you've seen him in one of my recent videos, like the one that's from 2017. And I know, I already know that I have my baby niece. I already know how it's a good thing for it. And then the other thing is that the one thing I know for 2020 that's a good thing is that something I know. Another thing. There's another thing. I was literally in boxing. I'm pretty sure Dodge has been shut down, but it's been shut down. But one thing it knows about it is that I was been to another boxing train, of course, another boxing train that's from from Journey's dad, Frederick. You're pretty sure Frederick is actually Journey's dad. Journey is my baby niece. Justin and Journey is my nephew and my niece, of course, because I'm their uncle, of course. Even of course for that, with this, for that, I only know 2020 has been a rough day, but not a rough day, a rough year, but I know how there's some good dots for me that I've been there for boxing, and good dots for Christmas that I had a workout place, that I had a workout thing that I have, that I only lift from weights, that you can see in the basement, let me just show you this. Yep. This is my workout thing that was in the basement. So, I was currently lifting weights right now, and this is where you might see I'm currently wanting to see if I'm going to have to get stronger, because I'm trying to see how I'm going to do well for it. And for some reason, this is my punching bag that I was using it for boxing. So, for that, this is just how you could think how everything that's something why I'm going to go through with it. Those are one of my presents I have. One was for my birthday, it's the bag. One was just for Christmas. That's all the thing I'm only using it for. Alright, since you guys saw that workout thing in the bag, that's just something I have to work out for it. And you might gonna see what I'm working on with the if it will be on Twitter. So that's gonna be great for it. And those are my good thoughts to it, because these are some of my bad thoughts. So there are some people who disappear. There was like the death of George Floyd, police brutality, and some of the reason, like, I think it's the wildfire of California. I've never been to California, but we can't even make it there. But even, of course, originally we were having a family reunion, but thanks to this pandemic. But, Kami, don't worry. I might have to film a family reunion for it. That's going to be in there in 2021. So, you'll see it. You'll see what's going to happen. And then, finally, the COVID-19 pandemic. So that's what we're knowing. 2020 is a terrible year. So, yeah. Well, I have to see to 2020. So, fuck you, 2020. And I'm only know we're finally glad that 2020 is going to be over with. So, that's my thought. And this is going to be my first ever video that's going to be age restricted of the profanity. So, that's it. That's what I'm only thinking. So, anyways, you guys, thank you guys for watching this video, of course. So, I know, I thank you guys for watching this video, because this is my first profanity video that I'm saying some curse words. So, I have no excuse. I'm older right now. I have to allow it, because it's been a tough year for it, and I'm literally done with it. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, and make sure to comment well and subscribe to my channel, like the video, and click the little bell, and tell me because you subscribe to my channel. Even, of course, you guys, hopefully you might know, Happy New Year. Very sure. Happy New Year for it. Goodbye 2020. And say hello to the new decade for a ever been there. Because since 2020 was the first decade for it, is 2021. Alright. I'll see you guys for it on the next video. If you're pretty sure, I'll film everything around for 2021. You'll see how it's going to be good. So we're ready for it. We're just open until then. So, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. And Happy New Year, guys. I'm pretty sure what happens. Before I have to start ending this video, we already know that this is going to be a great year for 2021. We're hoping that this is a good year for it. I'm hoping it's a good year for me. Before I just start ending the video, I'm already know. Thank you for that. And I already know how you're thinking of it, because everything will be going to be a great year for it. We're just hoping to tell. So, anyways, you guys, I hope you guys enjoy a Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Happy New Year, guys. See ya. Bye.